because it's all going to evolve into something. Eventually, you will see the big things in the background that's hiding. But for now, we're just gonna spark up TikTok as I've been doing in the last 2 weeks. But it's all gonna be how do I put it? Like it will be around my wife and I. All right, and this is why I'm talking. I brought this up first, and this is why I'm speaking about moudi tajjour, because with my wife being by my side, Gangster meets Sweetness, everyone that is following, they're not just following because they want to hear these stories. They're not just following to see whether I succeed in making this $1 million in 1 year. They're not just following because I'm giving good lessons to the younger generation. Nah. Mate, this is where triggz uses his brain, yeah? A lot of women who have started following me, like when I first started, it was about 80%, 85% male and the rest were female, yeah? Like the stats come up on your TikTok and your Instagram. And now I have a lot of females who are following me. And I know, yes, a lot of them have brothers and stuff who have been there, done it, and they just want to know why the men in their family went down that road, and and a lot of mothers want to know how to control the situation. But majority of the females that are watching me, they're here because they want to see if my relationship will survive. Remember, I met Sweetness in 2007 when she was 18 and I was 22 turning 23. This was in 2007. 2017, that's 10 years, yeah? She stuck by me. I was out for 14 months and within a couple of months, I became a multi-millionaire, as you all know. And then I got locked up for 7 years for sticking up for my boys, yeah? The beginning of that 7 years, I told Sweetness the same thing. Look, you're still young and beautiful and you got your whole life ahead of you, so I think it's best for you to go. You just stuck by me as a friend for 10 years, and obviously like love grew throughout that 10 years, and of course I want you to stay, but I'm not going to make you stay. I want you to go and live your life while you're still young and beautiful, you know. And she wouldn't do it. She stayed with me, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like when it came to this thing with moudi that I was talking about, like 2 weeks ago, I was trying to explain it in that way. Obviously, maybe my words weren't the right words, and obviously I've listened back to a lot of clips that people have recorded, yeah, and I have made like literally tiny mistakes, nothing major, like tiny mistakes in things I'm saying, but you've got to remember, this is my first time going live, this is my first time on camera, and I don't want to be in front of you talking all this gang rubbish. I'm literally doing it for a cause. I've got a course that's coming out for the younger generation. That's why I'm on here. Like, why would any kid want to come and sign up for my course if they didn't know who I am? Now, a lot of kids are reaching out to me on social media. No kid was ever reaching out to social media. It was pretty much just parents and a lot of mothers who have gone through a lot, yeah. But now I've got a lot of kids under 18 who are reaching out and thanking me for speaking my truth, because now they understand that the gang world is not the world to be in, you know. It's not the life to live. All right. So back to moudi tajjour, yeah. When I was speaking about it back then, this is exactly what I was saying. I was saying, when you're up there, people want to see you go down, you know, like that's what they want to see. Like they don't, yeah, everyone like has a moment where they succeed in things, yeah. But when you're talking shit and like putting your head on show like I am right now, a lot of people hate and they just want to see you fail. And I'm telling you right now, everyone that I bumped into in prison wanted moudi tajjour to fail, you know? The bloke didn't care. He still kept doing what he was doing. He didn't care who was ranting on about him. But my point on that day was that all that talk he talked and all the stuff that he did on the Telegraph and when he came on the news, it pretty much all went downhill when he got jumped, because everyone was waiting for it to happen. Like, everyone wants the big mouth to fail, you know. Like, another one was Big Cash, yeah. When he's on ya, like, he's on ya. He friggin' rips you to pieces, yeah. And when this guy was on a rampage, all I kept hearing from all my people is that everyone wanted to attack him, you know. Like, a lot of people hated on him, but you know, I've come out after all. Everyone was like hating on him, belittling him, talking rubbish about him, and then also putting him on a snitch. Like, I've come outside, and the bloke's still banging. All of his followers are still following him. Everyone is still like ranting on about how funny he is. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter how much people are following him, me, or moudi tajjour. At the end of the day, a lot of people, majority of the people, want to see us fail. And that's why I named my TikTok Gangster Meets Sweetness, is because of everyone out there who is wanting my relationship to fail. And if they're not wanting my relationship to fail, they're waiting for it to fail. Yeah? Like, they're expecting me, this ex-gangster, or if you still want to call me a gangster, whatever, like, to do what they would expect to be the inevitable, you know? Yeah, as you all know, 99% of guys who get out of prison, as soon as they get out, they run amok and then they leave their missus. All right, like, I'm not even going to bring that up. Like, it's none of my business, but 99% of guys do that. So to all you beautiful women out there who is sticking by a man right now that's locked down, bro, nothing but love and respect from me, because I've seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Every time these women walk into prison, you know, they're waiting 5, 10, like 15 years, you know. Like, this is why I had a lot of respect for Mick Howie's wife. When he copped 26 years, she didn't run. She hung around, you know. I'm going to get to those stories later on. The point of what I'm saying right now is all about moudi tajjour, all right? I saw what he said, and I was like, wow, this guy was that offended that he started bringing up things about me, saying that I got jumped in New Zealand by bikies and that I got jumped inside prison. All right. I don't play this little rubbish, back to forth thing on social media, yeah? Everybody who knows me, they all know that if you're going to say something, it's better to talk it up when you're standing in front of me. It's as simple as that, all right? I'm not going to talk too much on things that have happened in the past, because I could literally pour a whole heap of shit on moudi, you know. But my thing is, I know who I am. Everyone out there knows who I am. And when it comes to this guy bringing up things, let me tell you something, moudi, yeah? I'm talking directly to you right now, moudi, yeah? If you're going to say something about me, make sure that you have the facts before you open your mouth. That's all I'm going to say to you, all right? Anything else, I'm not going to freaking speak on it. I'll just see you when I see you, all right? But let me tell you all you guys about this thing he's talking about in New Zealand, yeah? No bloody bikies freaking jump me, all right? I was in New Zealand with my wife, and we were at a hotel, all right? I went and hung out with my bloodline brothers and a few of the commos. As a lot of you know, I was very close with liquor, all right? And if you guys didn't see the newspaper articles, New Zealand government, at the time, assumed that I was the one funding the New Zealand Comancheros. So if you guys don't know, when Liquor got to New Zealand, he ran amok, yeah? And he ran so much of amok in New Zealand on all the gangs over there that all the gangs started turning and wanting to get together to go against Liquor because, let me explain the story, yeah? This guy Liquor is so crazy, like he's like my brother. Like, if he's gonna do something, he's coming straight at you, all right? He walked, I'm not gonna say the bikie gangs in New Zealand, which bikie gang it is, but he walked straight into this clubhouse and he said to them, what do you want to do? Huh? You want to go to war with me? And the funniest thing is this New Zealand gang who is very, very big, yeah? They turned to him and they said to him, but you got some screws loose in your brain. Like, mate, that's not how it works in New Zealand. Like, if you have an issue, bring your best fighter, I'll bring my best fighter, and then one-on-one, and we leave it at that, squash the beef. But Liquor went to New Zealand with his Sydney mentality, where if he wants something, he takes it. And so obviously, he just said that. He told him straight. He goes, it's my way or the highway. And let me give it to the guy. I'm not gonna shy away from praising the gangster that that he was when he got to New Zealand, because the New Zealand gangs, mate, they're not to be messed with either, you know. But when Liquor got there, mate, he stood his ground and he told him straight. Mind you, he told him straight when he had like only 3 or 4 boys, but he went there by himself. He didn't go there with a crew. He went there by himself, and he told them, you know, and his whole crew buckled. And it's funny to me because I've seen a lot of social media stuff and about not only this gang in New Zealand, but also different gangs have now come and joined with Liquor. So let me not say anything else about that, because if that happened, obviously now you understand the gangster that Liquor was. He did not care. And mind you, he had nothing at the time, and he went with his legs and his fists, nothing else. Don't forget, Liquor just got there, you know? So he wasn't set up. His boys didn't set him up in New Zealand. He got a few $1,000s chucked to him, but by the time I got there, he was struggling to pay his rent, and he was barely getting through the day, you know. But he made it happen, and then he killed it, and then it was a dog that brought him down, you know. Back to what Moudi Tajjour was saying about me in New Zealand when he said, Peter got jumped in New Zealand, I'm laughing, ha ha ha. He got jumped by the bikies, and he also got jumped in prison, ha ha ha. This is what Moudi Tajjour said, yeah? Like, that's how cut Moudi was, just because of what I said. Bro, I wasn't laughing at your expense. I was laughing at the fact that when you talk it up so much, you get when you get dealt with, everybody now is cheering because you went down, yeah? And the fact that you stood up and you laughed it off and said, all good, Moudi's back now, you know? I left the game, but after I got my head jumped on, I'm back, all right? This is what I was laughing at. Like, anyway, I may have worded it wrong. I haven't looked at what I said when I was laughing, but that's what I had in my head when I was laughing about it, all right? Now let's get to what he was talking about in New Zealand. I was partying with my Bloodline boys and with the Comanchero boys. Everywhere I go, these boys always make sure I'm all right. And for you idiots that was messaging on my video with my wife where we were doing the food review, and they were saying, can't you open your own door? It was only 2 people that said it. Like, who are you, the King of England? Like, this is what someone said, yeah? Like, bro, if you haven't lived the gang life, then shut your mouth, all right? Like, there's love and respect and loyalty. You know nothing about it. That's why you talk the way you talk, all right? When I got to New Zealand with my wife, and I left her at the hotel because she didn't want to go out. Usually I take her everywhere with me, but she didn't want to go with me that night. There was like over 16 boys, and we went out partying. I only stayed with them for about 20 minutes, and then I was like, look guys, I'll let you keep your party going. I'm going to head off, yeah? And they were like, where you going, where you going? I said, I'm going to go hang out with my wife because she's by herself. And all the boys walked out to walk me across the road. Across the road was where the hotel was. And I stopped all of them and I said, no. I said, boys, go back inside and enjoy yourselves. I said, it's all right, it's across the road. I'm walking across the road, yeah? But the boys were like, no, also, we have to take you there. We'll take you to your car. I said, please, boys, if you love me, you will go and enjoy your night. I go, I don't want to stop the momentum. You guys are having fun, and I've never seen guys enjoy a night out like this in a long time. Usually, when you go to somewhere where heaps of islanders are, they're always deaf staring each other. You know what I mean? And it was so beautiful to see that a bunch of hard guys could actually just sit there and have fun, you know? So after giving the boys a hug, I walked across the road and all the boys went in as soon as they saw me walk into the foyer. At this moment, yeah, 3 guys started walking down. Out of these 3 guys, one of them was involved in the 2016 incident with me when they tried to jump me, all right? This guy's name was Noah Felice, yeah? These guys saw my red jacket and my long hair as I walked into the to the foyer. I was in the middle of speaking to the concierge, and something at the side of my eye like caught me, yeah? As I turned my head right, Noah was in my face and the other 2 guys were behind me, yeah? And as soon as I turned my head, he goes, Peter, like that, and I turned and I clocked him straight away. This is what made me laugh. Like, these young guys don't understand the meaning of gangster. They don't understand the meaning of loyalty. You know what? For all of you right now who's watching this that's in the middle of gang mode right now, yeah, all you youngsters, the only loyalty that you guys have is limited loyalty, all right? Because you are down for the cause right now, but as soon as shit goes to shit, you disappear, yeah? This is what I mean about limited loyalty. You have no idea what it means, yeah? In New Zealand, when this incident occurred, if I was in his shoes and I was coming to confront someone that I considered my worst enemy, I would have done it straight off the bat. No talking, yeah? I turned my head, and as he said, Peter, like that, I turned, and mate, he didn't even finish his words, and gah, okay? As soon as that happened, I ripped my jacket off, threw it up the desk, swung my left sliding hook at the one on my right, bang, he went buckling backwards. Hit the one in front of me again, he went buckling backwards. Hit the one on my left again, he went buckling. Now I turned around to the third one who was jumping up and down. I said, what? Come. As I said, come, he stepped backwards and he didn't want no bar of it. As this was happening, all the security guards from the casino come running down, yeah? Mind you, I had just finished clocking both these guys, but there's 3 of them, yeah? And I didn't confront them, they confronted me, yeah? I put these guys on show so much that when the security guards got there, they were holding me back and not them, all right? And I was thinking to myself, I'm sick and tired of people holding me back when I want to take care of business. Like, the concierge obviously called the security, so they come running down, yeah? And then the cops came. These 3, because all the security guards were on me trying to stop me from getting to them, these 3 ran towards the back, yeah? And then they disappeared. Probably about 2 minutes later, police all turned up. As police turned up, I was already on my phone saying to all the commos and the bloodline boys, get here now, yeah? Sorry, let me correct myself. I could hear the police sirens coming. This is when those 3 young fellas went running. When I got on the phone and I said, get here now, the commos and the bloodline boys turned up first. So pretty much now, we outnumbered the security. There's the security guard there trying to stop me from getting to those 3 guys, and then all the combo boys and the bloodline boys came up, and they were like, "Uso, you're good, you're good." And then I turned around and I said, "Get in the car now and find those 3 that just ran that way." Pretty much half the boys ran, jumped in 2 cars, and they took off around the corner to go find them. From what I remember that night, all the boys that were running around trying to get things done for me, they all got held up by cops. Like, cops came from everywhere. Now it makes sense because New Zealand is small, so as soon as they were caught, they surrounded the whole vicinity. Yeah? And remember those 2 cars that I told you that drove off? All the boys, they got pulled over by the cops as soon as they got around that corner, and they were looking for those 3 guys. And then they all got told to get out of their cars and get up, and they all got searched. And they all actually got brought back to where I was. So the cops made them drive their cars back to where I was. So now it was me and all the combos that were there, the bloodline boys, and securities and cops, yeah. And I was standing in the middle because the concierge kept telling the cops and the security, this guy didn't start it. Those 3 guys were the ones that tried to jump him. It wasn't this guy. This guy is innocent. So pretty much they left me alone when this concierge was sticking up for me. As soon as I saw everyone start surrounding me, like all my guys and the combo boys, that's when the cop goes, "You got to give me 2 seconds, I got to go see something." I didn't realize he was going to look at the footage, yeah? And then he went. He came back probably about 10 minutes later, and when he came back, he was laughing. And he goes, "Man, I don't know whether to arrest you or pat you on the back. Bro, you're a machine." This is exactly what the cop said to me, yeah? And so when Moudi is talking this rubbish, saying, "Haha, you got jumped by bikies," oh my gosh, bro, none of this shit happened, all right? There was no bikies jumped me. It was just 3 young fellas, and one of them was one of the guys that was involved in the incident in 2016. And a big thing happened when all the commentators got arrested. My name was mentioned time and time again. And my name was mentioned in another country. It wasn't mentioned in Australia about all this stuff. It was about in another country, you know? And this is what I'm saying. Like, people who talk so much rubbish, yeah? Like, they can tell a joke, but they can't take a joke. And at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna laugh at someone's expense, yeah, do you. But if you're gonna laugh at someone who's an ex-gangster and who was just as bad as you were, if not better, then make sure you got your facts straight before you speak, before you open your mouth, all right? Something happened to one of those guys in New Zealand. Him and his wife ended up like that, and I was in Australia. I flew to New Zealand, and there was big controversy over it. Obviously, because a couple of weeks before that, I had been jumped, you know, and then there was all these stories going around everywhere. But like I said, when you're living in the gang world, you have a lot of haters and a lot of people who would consider you an enemy. And you know that Mussy Rook flop, yeah? This is how dumb he is. I read a lot of books in Supermax, yeah? And when I would read a book in Supermax, I would write like a quote, and then I would sign off triggz, so that the next person who reads this book, they know that I had read it. It wasn't my way of trying to big note myself. It was just, I was proud of myself for reading this book. And if a lot of boys who go through books, they don't read it, yeah? What they do is they go to the back and they see what it's about. But if they went to the back and opened up the back cover, they would have seen my name because I signed off on it, yeah? And so if they see triggz straight away, they'll know it's me, and they'll be like, bro, if triggz likes it, far out, I'm going to read it. This Mussy flop, yeah? Listen to this. He reads a book that I read, and I put a quote in there, yeah? This guy is so clueless and so dumb, Mr. Big Time Gangster, that he went and put this quote on his Instagram bio, yeah? But he thought that I got this quote like off social media or like of someone that I read, but it was my quote. And the funniest thing is, out of all quotes that I've made up, everyone in prison and outside knows that that is my quote, because when I would write letters, I would actually sign off with that quote, you know. And the quote goes, the worst enemy one could have is an enemy you don't know you have, you know. So for those of you who don't understand that, it's like, here's your enemies that you know of, but the worst thing you could have is these enemies that you don't know you have. That was a quote that I wrote, and in that Masi Flop went and put it on his bio, thinking that I got it from somewhere, but I didn't, you know. And he got it off that book that I had read. That's story number one, straightening up the rubbish that Moudi tajjour said, yeah. And like I said, I wasn't putting the bloke down when he got jumped. I was just saying, like, this is what happens, you know. Everyone wants to see you fail, and when that happened to you, everyone was laughing and everyone's like, yes, he finally got. And everyone is still doing that right now to people like Big Cash, Spaniard, like all these guys who are doing well for themselves. Like even 1-4 of like throughout the grapevine, like a lot of people are waiting for them to fail, you know. But look at them, they're flying right now. So good on them, you know. And as well as all the other islanders that I've seen, like I'm very, very proud of my islander community for the moves that they have made in the industry. Now, let's go to story number 2 that Moudi tajjour said. He said, ha ha, you got jumped in prison. All right, let me tell you guys something. Moudi shrugged his shoulders, yeah, and he said, when someone said, Triggz is real, he goes, I don't know. All right. He wants to talk about stuff that happened to me, then let me explain it to you. Well, how else are you all going to know what happened to me when someone's talking rubbish about me if I don't explain it myself, all right? Like, there are so many witnesses on what happened on the day that I got jumped. And mind you, Moudi's not talking about the OC thing. That's not a jumping. Remember what I said to you guys. I was so embarrassed to be involved in that brawl because it wasn't even a brawl. That's how embarrassed I was to be a part of it. So when I got out and there was all this big commotion about this big hit that they made on Mr. Big Gangster Triggz, I was like, nothing even happened. Like, what the hell? Anyway, my point is, the jumping that Moudi is talking about, now that's what you call a brawl, all right? And a lot of people have asked me about a name, Arthur Colcolio, all right? Let me tell you about loyalty right now, all right? Loyalty is not just about having a brother's back, you know? Loyalty is about letting your brother know when he's in the wrong and letting your brother know when he should step away from what you are doing and go back home, yeah? And for those of you who haven't been listening into a lot of things that I've been writing and saying, 2 of my biggest comrades is Peter Vai and Lale, yeah. And everybody knows these 2 boys as 2 boys that go on with it, yeah. And they were bloodline. The only way you can leave bloodline is if you change your life and go back to God, all right? And these 2 both chose to give their life to Allah, all right? Now, I could have been like the mafia, or I could have been like the cartel or MS-13, where like, mate, once you're in, you're in. Like, the only way out is, you know. But no, that's not how bloodline rolls, all right? Like, God is more powerful than anything that you have ever seen and anything that you know of, all right? And this is the reason why we have this rule. If a brother gives his life to God, then we leave him, let him be, and we give him a hug and wish him well, which is what I did and my brothers did when Peter Bai and Lale chose to become Muslims and chose to give their life to Allah. All right? On the day this incident happened at Park Lee, I was minding my own business, but I had a hoodie over my head. Like in prison, you don't have hoodies, but I had a hoodie, all right? I had a hoodie like this and I was on the phone. I was saying Happy Mother's Day to my mum, yeah? And as I was saying Happy Mother's Day to my mum, someone snatched the phone off of me. Now, when I got to this pod, I didn't really look around. Like, I was staying quiet because everyone in prison knows me. I like to keep a low profile, and I just do my own thing, and I walk my laps. Like, for those who know me inside prison, even when I'm with my boys, yeah, I still do laps on my own. Like, I don't walk around with the boys like hard guys, you know. My boys are always watching my back from afar, and if they want to walk with me, they walk with me. But majority of the time, I'm always doing my own thing. Yeah, that's how I like it. And so this day, when my phone got snatched out of my hand, it was 2005. Yeah, and a lot of people will confirm this story because they were all there, especially officers. I've had a few officers reach out to me who were like, far out, I was there that day. It's funny how these people talk rubbish about things that you're talking about, and now you're straightening it out. Anyway, after the phone got snatched off me, I turned my head and this guy yells at me and said, "This is a Muslim phone, not for anyone else to use." Remember, like, I'm gang related. So this guy didn't even finish his sentence and I clocked him, yeah? And he went to sleep. And when I say went to sleep, he didn't just go to sleep, he got stretchered out, all right? And then moudi tajjour was there that day, all right? A few of the Labour boys come running down after I clocked him, and I was just waiting for the inevitable, but it is what it is, that's prison, yeah? Long story short, the squad came in, they stopped everything, and no one got to me because the screws were in front of me before anything could happen. But that guy was laid out and he had to get stretched out, yeah? And I got taken to segregation, and an islander officer who was a big boss, yeah? He came in and none of them knew that I had hit anyone, yeah? And they were checking everyone's knuckles. When they checked my knuckle, I had a bit of a cut here. Then he realized that I was the one that clocked the guy. And then he said, "Sorry, man, you're gonna have to go to Segro." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, all good." So I had just got there. I'd only been there for about 2 days, all right? And I was thinking to myself, "Bro, what is this thing like? The phone box belongs to everyone. Everyone can use it, yeah?" But this guy snatched it off me and he said, "Muslim phone only," you know? And I was like, that's what happens, you know? Like, you're in prison, mate. What do you think this is? And then I was sitting in my cell because they told me I was going to go to Segro. Guess who comes and gets me from my cell after lunch? 2 Muslim officers, all right? I get grabbed and I get taken out. Like, so I've got my property and I'm walking along with my property, and when I'm walking, it's after lunchtime, so everyone is out. Every pod, yeah, is out. I'm walking with my trolley and I'm headed towards Segro. As I get towards the last wing, I'm pretty sure it was called 1A, the officers stopped me. The 2 Muslim officers stopped me, and they're like, "Oh, help, hold on, vaiusu." He goes, "You stay in here and wait. We just go and confirm everything." The reason why I'm trying to give you that accent is because one of the Muslim guys was Indian, yeah. The other Muslim guy was, I'm pretty sure he was like some sort of Middle Eastern country, yeah. And then I looked into the wing that he told me to go in, and all I saw was Muslim boys everywhere. And I didn't think nothing of it because I was like, when I hit that guy, I was in the right. Like, who are you to snatch my phone when I'm saying Happy Mother's Day to my mum, you know? So I went in, parked my property, and I sat back and I waited for them. And then a few of the Islander boys ran up. Johnny Filipano, what's his name? Alpha Colocolio, and that bloke that all of you call X, his real name is Eric Moifili, but I think everyone calls him X. He was there as well, but the two main guys that ran up and started speaking to me was Johnny Filipana and Hone. And they yelled at me and they're like, bro, what are you doing there in that pod? And I was like, oh, the officers told me to wait here because they got to confirm my segregation. I swear, it wasn't even like 2 seconds, and all I heard was Hone like start swearing at the officers because you set up dogs, and I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't realize that these two Muslim screws had set me up and put me in a Muslim yard to get jumped. All right, so I'm there thinking like, yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting to go to segregation, and it was a one-on-one, and the bloke started it. He snatched the phone off me. There's no issue. All right, and I'm standing there, and as I was standing there, the boys start yelling out more like, bro, what's going on? What's going on? And then they yelled out to this guy. His name was Masi, but he was Tongan, yeah? And I'm telling you, this guy was massive. And apparently he's from Campbelltown or something. He was a giant. And when they yelled out to him, he came over to the gate and he goes, yo, what's going on? And they're like, hey, Shana, see the uso here? And he goes, yeah. He goes, please watch his back, look after him. Yeah, he's one of the usos. And he was like, yeah, of course. Wow, what's going on? What's going on? He started asking questions. And the boys were like, nah, don't worry about what's going on. Just make sure watch his back. And mind you, this guy was older than me. And he was the biggest bloke in the prison. Yeah? So, Mick Ibrahim came to the door, to the gate. He was with Johnny Filipano and what's his name? And Hone on the other side. And he starts talking with moudi tajjour through the fence. And obviously they found out that the guy snatched the phone off me when I was saying Happy Mother's Day. So moudi tajjour and Mick Ibrahim were trying to sort it out and explain to the Muslim boys that I wasn't attacking a Muslim, like I was attacking a guy who snatched the phone off me. Yeah, it's not politics, it's not racial wars. So Mick Ibrahim and moudi tajjour start yelling out to everyone, all the Muslim boys, like, bro, it's not his fault, like, don't do anything stupid, because remember, I'm outnumbered silly, yeah? The guys that was on my side, I know a lot of them, but I'm not going to give them no limelight, so I'm just going to mention one name because he was the main person that got called to the fence because he was leading them at the time, yeah? His name was Bill Razak. This Razak family was involved in war. So all of you know about the Almadine and Hemsey wars, yeah? So the war from back then in my time was between the Darwich family and the Razak family. So this is Bill Razak, yeah? He was like the older one. So he was in charge. He walked over. Mick Ibrahim tried to explain to him, like, bro, the Islander kid is in the riot. Like, mate, he was just saying Happy Mother's Day to his mum. And when they were all talking, I could hear bits and pieces of English, yeah? And during this time, I could hear them like arguing, and I was thinking, wait, why are they arguing? I thought Mick Ibrahim was in charge of all the Muslim boys, but I realized at that time he wasn't, because remember how I told you before? There's different sects, like SECT of Muslims. So number one, it was that. Number two, the politics. Number three, the families who had big names. So obviously the Ibrahims had a big name, but also the Razaks had a big name. So the Razaks didn't have to listen to the Ibrahims, you know. And when they were trying to explain it, Moudi was also trying to stick up for me and explain it, but these guys just weren't having a bar of it, yeah. I looked at my time, and it was about it was almost going to 3. So that's lock-in time. So I thought to myself, remember, I've been through it. Like, I've been through the racial war, so I know that I have to make a move before they do. And it doesn't matter if I'm outnumbered or not. So when all the boys, they were trying to get me one of these ones, yeah, but they couldn't get one because apparently they hid it all at the Oval, and when the boys were trying to get it for me, it was getting to muster. And I thought to myself straight away, I go, there is no way I'm getting locked in today, because if I get locked in today and I come out tomorrow, these guys are going to all have shoes, yeah? It was just unlucky for them that when I walked into their yard, they all knew that I had a big name already, because now I had taken my hoodie off, so they realized who I was. And their gate to the unit was locked, all right? Because it was locked, none of them could go back in and get anything like what they wanted. Thank you, Uzo. And then what happened was, I thought to myself, nah, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now. I'm not waiting until tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get shanked all over the place. So, being the dumb kid I was, I walked straight towards all of them. There was a lot of. If you guys hear this story, yeah, from anyone else, they'll tell you, you know that triggz or that Peter Vaiusu, he took on 20 blokes. I've heard 25 blokes. I've heard 20 blokes. The truth is, I fought 13 guys. And the reason why I know this is because the officers begged me to charge Bill Razak. In his words, mate, you can charge him for attempted murder. You know, like you got stabbed, this, that. But that's the truth. There was 13 guys that tried to get me that day, yeah? So I walked over and there were stairs, yeah? As I walked over to the stairs, first thing that came out of my mouth is, hey boys, who's got an issue? And all of them just buckled. Not one of them said anything. Bill Razak gets up and he goes, cuz, what do you mean? And I said, look, I'm not trying to start drama, yeah? I was over there saying Happy Mother's Day to my mom, and this bloke snatched the phone off me. And then Bill, he actually presented the reason why they were upset, and I didn't realize, yeah? He goes to me, look, cuz. He goes, let's go for a walk. And I said, I'm not going for a walk. I go, if you guys got an issue, let's sort it out here. He goes, brother, he goes, you know the guy that you hit, he leads the prayers. And I said, what do you mean? That's when I realized why Razak's and all the other boys' anger was flaming up, you know, it's because I had hit someone who leads their prayers. And then I had to confirm with him, I said to him, bro, I didn't mean to hit the guy on purpose because he's a Muslim or because he leads your prayers. I hit the bloke because he snatched the phone off me. I go, why have you got an issue with that? You know, like, this is not a religious thing, this is not a politic thing, like, what's wrong with you, lad? You know? And he goes, yeah, you're right, bro. Look, that's what Mick Ibrahim's trying to explain, but the boys are upset, you know? He goes, bro, look, just come for a walk, just me and you. He goes, let's just talk this out because we don't want no issue with you either. He puts his arm around me here and then we go walking down. As we go walking down, he starts talking some gibbers to he's like, yeah, bro, you know, like, but he's going like this, yeah. It's just the boys, like, they're a bit dirty and that. And I was like, yeah, I know, bro, but I didn't do anything wrong. Like, this is prison. What's wrong with you? I didn't even finish my sentence, and Bill Razak threw a hit. As he threw a hit, I moved back and it missed. As I clocked him, mate, have you ever seen bees like attack a honeypot, like on documentaries? That's exactly what it was. As soon as I clocked Bill, everyone in the yard just ran at me. Not everyone, but like, I'm talking about the Middle Eastern boys, yeah? 13 of them ran at me. I had guys pulling my hair. I had guys trying to uppercut me, and mate, I put every single one of them on show that day. One man, all right? So when you guys hear Eric Moifili tells this story, he doesn't ever explain that I was by myself. You remember that big Tongan guy named Mussy that was supposed to jump in for me? He left. So I fought on my own, all right? There was 2 screws that jumped in that day to try to stop it, and his name was Sonny and Tongan Joe, all right? These 2 officers that came running in that day to stop the riot didn't realize there was only one person fighting. It was just me versus the rest, yeah? And, mate, I'm not going to even beat around the bush. I dropped 2 guys there. I dropped 2 guys, and if you guys don't know about brawls, when there's too many people attacking, not everyone can get their punches in. So pretty much, if I threw one hit overhand, like, it doesn't matter where I'm throwing it, I'm going to get someone because there's too many people around me trying to freaking... Mate, my hair was getting pulled left, right, and center, and they were trying to throw it up because they couldn't. And this is what happened, yeah? The Muslim boys on the other side where Eric Moifili was, where X was, they got upset because the Middle Eastern boys on this side couldn't get me. So the Samoan kid who had nothing to do with it, he gets clocked. Why? Because they were upset that these boys Bill Razak and that couldn't do the job to me. Like, I put them on show, yeah? And when that young kid got dropped, I give it to Eric Moifili, yeah? He ran over to try to help the guy, and then Eric got clocked. And mind you, Eric's a Muslim. Yeah. Like, X is a Muslim, and they clocked him. Like, that's what I didn't get, yeah? And when X got hit, he fell on the ground, and I'm telling you, mate, he stood up, and he fought back, and he fought hard. You know, like, he did well. The young guy that got hit, he was just in no man's land because he didn't even know why he got hit. Like, he was just standing there minding his own business, watching the brawl on my side, yeah? As soon as all the officers came in and stopped it, I was like running here, running there, trying to like get whoever, and I was just standing there with my hair out and my shirt off, yeah? Then when the officers were like walking me backwards and trying to stop me from attacking, another guy who come out of nowhere, like I threw a hit at him and he just ran, yeah? As he ran, all the officers jumped on me because now I was just throwing punches at anyone. I didn't care. If you were near me, you were gonna cop it, yeah? They tackled me to the ground and I could hear all this noise in the background, yeah? When I got tackled on the ground and handcuffed, I got stood up and I was walking. And all this noise that I was hearing, I was like, well, what's going on? Like that. I looked up, and this is where I'm going to go back to loyalty. For all you youngsters who think you know what loyalty is, yeah, this is real loyalty, yeah? Number one, I was outnumbered. Number two, I didn't really know any of the Muslim brothers that were in there, except this guy that I'm about to reveal. His name is Alpha Kolokolio. Everyone called him AK, yeah? When I looked up, everyone was like trying to help him get down. You know what happened? He tried to climb a fence. Mate, it was at least 5-6 meters high, yeah? But it's got barbed wires. He tried to put his feet through the barbed wires. He cut all his feet and all his hands because he was trying to come and help me fight. So remember that musty guy that left me with her? Alpha Kolokolio saw it. So he started climbing the fence and he started trying to get over the barbed wire. And because he couldn't get himself over it, he ended up cutting all his hands and his legs. And by the time I got handcuffed and taken, and then X got taken as well, and then the young fella that got cheap shot got taken as well, the brother was still trying to get down. And then the officers ended up like handcuffing him because you're not allowed to do that. Like if you try to climb the fence, you automatically get charged with kidnapping. Kidnapping. You almost for escape, yeah? And there you go. That's what real loyalty is. Let me tell you something. You know Alpha Kolokolio? He never knew who I was. Like, we had just met that day. I shook his hand and said hi, yeah? And then I laid out that first guy, and then that situation happened. But because I was a Samoan, and because I was a Pacific Islander, he went above and beyond. And this is what you youngsters don't understand, yeah? You live this life where you think, yeah, gang, rap, yeah? But you haven't actually lived anything. You know, like, the brother AK, he did not know me. You guys are only loyal when you know each other. And you guys are only loyal when you're in a group. But as soon as you guys part ways, not only do you start talking itchy behind each other's back, you start trying to get each other's misses. You know, you start sleeping with each other's misses. Like, this is the things that I had to be confronted with inside prison from all these youngsters who were attacking each other. Mate, if it wasn't over postcode gang stuff, it was over a girl. And they were in the same gang. You know what I mean? And mate, I'm not even gonna be able to finish everything that I want to talk about because it's already past 1 hour, yeah? But I wasn't even supposed to talk this bloody long about Moudi Tajjour's belittling on me, yeah? But I had to straighten everything out. And he was there when this happened. So when he's shrugging his shoulders and he said, I don't know if this blood triggz is real or not, mate, let me tell you something. He knows, all right? And yes, he's been through a lot himself, but I've never belittled the things that he's been through, you know? I've never ever said a thing about him. The only reason why I brought up that jumping was because he put himself up on that pedestal. He's the one that had the limelight on him, and then he got crushed, you know? And that's what I was trying to say. Like, now that the limelight is on myself, this may happen to me. You know what I mean? Like, God willing it doesn't, because I'm only on this bloody platform to give my my knowledge, and also my love and respects to everyone that's supporting, but my knowledge to those youngsters out there. This is literally why I'm on here putting my head on show. Is for all you young guys out there. So you understand that this is not the type of life that you want to live. I'm not trying to be a role model. Yeah, get that through your head. I'm not trying to be a role model. Like, all I'm trying to say is, see this life that I've lived? Here's my story. Learn from it. Trust me. You're gonna end up in jail for the rest of your life. You're gonna end up dead, or you're gonna end up a bad junkie. You know, a lot of close brothers of mine have passed away from these three things. All right. Hey, if I had shown you guys the amount of stuff that I was about to talk about tonight, I can't believe this bloody 1 hour has gone on over moudi tajjour's ranting that he did yesterday or the day before. But how else am I gonna explain it? You know, like that brawl that happened at Park Lee, that wasn't just the end of the incident. Like, for those of you who don't know about racial wars, when something breaks out, it pops off at other prisons. So when that thing happened to me there in Park Lee, Richie Nemo and Moa Sua immediately attacked the Middle Eastern boys at Silverwater, and then my brother 2 and 2 Heat and Johnny Bandit immediately attacked the Middle Eastern boys at Long Bay. But this is what I'm saying to you guys. It's not about that. This was an era where it was tit for tat. I'm not trying to bridge up about what happened in the aftermath or what happened later on. Yeah, this is what it was back then. It was real war. You know, what's happening now with all this stuff? Like a young kid just got stabbed. Was it yesterday or today? I don't know. I just seen it on my social media. Like, why? Like, this is what I don't understand about you guys. Like, have your kids or have your nephews and cousins watch what I'm saying. Yeah, like. This kid who is inside prison, these guys who were involved in this train station thing, I think it was up at Mount Jewel or something, and the young guy passed away. Mate, they're gonna learn the hard way now. They're gonna end up in prison, and they're gonna get charged with murder. Yeah, and guess what? They're gonna sit in there and they're gonna get religious. They're gonna complain about everything, and you know who suffers the most? Not them. I didn't friggin' suffer. I lived like a king in prison. No matter what prison I went to, friggin' everybody knows, you know? I'm not bridging up about it. I'm just saying, I did not do time hard. You know, what was hard on me was seeing my parents and my wife struggle to be there for me emotionally, because they had to take care of all the family stuff outside. You know what I mean? You know, there's guys like me who can handle prison, and then there's guys, which is pretty much majority of the guys inside prison, who just fail miserably at doing time, you know? And yeah, even though I lived like a king every prison I went to, I missed my parents, you know? Like, I wanted to come home and take care of them. You know? I lost my grandma, I lost my grandfather, you know? My parents were sick, like my mom had a heart attack, my dad had a stroke, and where was I? Trying to be a freaking gangster inside prison. Mr. So-called, I did what I did because I wanted to take care of my parents. Yeah, what happened? I ended up in prison and I couldn't take care of my parents. You know? I'm going to leave it at that, guys. So, before I leave, I'm just going to say big love and respects to everyone that sent gifts through